Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time.
First, this Adam Cole story. What a story this was. I think this broke Sunday night. I remember because I woke up Monday morning and Ryan had texted us a bunch about it. But it was obviously the talk of Twitter all day on Monday. Certainly, most of you have heard about it by now. But just to recap, Fightful.com, shout out to Sean Ross Sapp, reported that Adam Cole's contract expired in July, which caught WWE by surprise. Now, rather than pull a Lex Luger and show up on Dynamite, which would have been fucking tremendous had he done that, for the record, Cole was pretty nice about it. He agreed to work on a short-term deal through SummerSlam weekend, which includes the next TakeOver. As you know, TakeOver, I believe, is the night after SummerSlam, correct? And they're not really running a full build. They're running the Capitol Wrestling Center, which is very odd. But I'm going to pause here, Justin, and ask you, how shocking is this that they were unaware that when Adam Cole's contract was going to run out?
It'd be extremely shocking if it wasn't for the fact of the whole Aleister Black, Malachi Black contract situation where they did not upgrade his contract when he moved to the main roster. And so his 90-day clause was actually a 60 or 30?
30-day non-compete. Yes, that is why he was able to jump to AEW so soon. He did not have the standard 90-day non-compete that most main roster guys do because somebody was falling asleep and he still had a 30-day. So,
yeah. So considering that they can let like something like that slip by, this did not surprise me at all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how does this happen? You talked about the, Malachi, don't call me Aleister Black situation. PW Insider reported that the timing of the company learning of Cole's contract situation, which, by the way, WWE believed didn't expire until January of 2022. I thought his contract didn't expire until 2024. Didn't somebody say that last year?
I had no idea.
Okay, because he came into the promotion in August, right? He debuted at a SummerSlam TakeOver in 2017. So it would make sense that would end in August. And I feel like at this time last year, people were thinking his deal might be up. And then I thought somebody reported he was under contract till 2024, but no, apparently he was only under contract till July of 2021. Now, PW Insider, getting back to this, the timing of the company learning about Cole's contract situation, according to them, quote, very much lines up with the company letting go of Senior Director of Talent Development, Canyon Seaman. What's interesting, yes, and this is going to be so fun to say Seaman over and over again, isn't it? What a last name. Guarantee if he was on TV, Vince would embrace that. Seaman! But what's interesting about the Seaman deal, Justin, if you remember this kind of was an under-the-radar story. It was first reported at the end of June by Meltzer, among some others, that Seaman had been let go from his role. But there was like a WWE denial, even though there were people within WWE who thought he was gone. But the reports ended up getting retracted. But on July 23rd, it was reported that Seaman was officially gone. Oh,
I heard he was squeezed out. Sorry.
That's great. There's so many places you could take that one. And I don't know. It was better than all of them that I was going to come up with. But anyway, all right. So the Seaman is out. Okay. He's gone. The Seaman is gone. Bottom line is, who knows the exact date WWE found out about the Cole contract, but this, kind of falls in the Canyon Seaman department, I guess. And as you mentioned, Justin, a few moments ago, we do know that this front office miscue comes on the heels of the, Aleister Black situation that we already went through. For WWE's sake, I hope this short-term agreement that they have with Cole is legally binding at this point. You would assume it is. Otherwise, I would love to see Adam Cole stab them in the front, right? Mm-hmm. How great would it be if he showed up if it was just I guess, I did a semester in law school, and I think if you write things on napkins, it can be held up as a contract. But I quit right after that lesson, for the record. But, if it's just a handshake deal, how great would it be if he was on, Dynamite tomorrow after this gets out? But that's probably not going to be the case. One would assume he's going to work Kyle O'Reilly at the next takeover. Maybe put him over. The result, if they do that match at the next takeover, the result of it's probably going to say a lot about his future, no?
Absolutely. I mean, mostly I would say if he wins. Because, maybe if he is going to re-sign, they could still have him lose and tell a story, blah, blah, blah. But I think if he wins, that would be very surprising.
Yes, it would. Let's get to the $6 million question now, shall we? What should Adam Cole do after SummerSlam weekend? Now, you can answer this either as just a joint wrestling fan, or you can put Adam Cole's shoes on and look at it from his perspective. You could do both. What would you do?
Luckily, my answer for both of them is the same.
Okay.
He's got to go. I don't know what else he can do in NXT. And there is no way that he can get into a main roster ring with the other guys. And Vince McMahon is not going to see him as a main player. He's going to end up like basically every other NXT call up, if not worse. I mean, he's got charisma up the wazoo. He's a great in-ring worker, but he's going to end up on 205 Live.
205 Live is a sad endpoint for anybody right now. God bless the folks still working there. But yeah, he's not a Vince guy. I think, that's a big part of the reason why he's been there for 4 years, right? He kind of falls into the Johnny Gargano realm, right? Where it's, Vince just isn't going to push him. It should be mentioned before, and I agree with you. For the record, I'm going to list out a lot of reasons why I think Adam Cole should bolt. But I think the argument for him staying is he is on the record. He really likes Triple H.
Yeah.
He really likes Shawn Michaels. He's working they're like his idols. It's not like he just likes them as coworkers. I think they're like his favorite wrestlers and stuff too, particularly Shawn. So he likes her. He can be a big fish in a small pond. I mean, he could, conceivably have an entire brand built around him if he chose to stay. And, if that's what he wants, it's up to him. It's his life. But let's go through the reasons why I think he should leave. First off, and this is going to be a running theme on this show, the WWE stinks. Okay. The WWE is not good. And if I were him, I would leave because of that. Now, to be more specific and not speak in generalities, you mentioned not a Vince McMahon guy from the look, physique perspective. So yeah, on Raw, I just cannot see him being pushed. I mean, my God, do you think Vince McMahon is going to have Adam Cole beat Bobby Lashley?
No.
Okay. I didn't either. Okay. You talked about NXT. What is there left for him to do? The Undisputed Era is broken up. Shout out to our big fan, Kyle Ryan. I know he was very upset about that. And man, the way they've done that is just kind of like, it's just an O'Reilly Cole thing, right? I mean, Roddy Strong is off doing his own thing. Bobby Fish is doing whatever. So I haven't really liked how that storyline has played out, to be honest with you. And I think they've missed the window potentially on making Adam Cole the top babyface on the NXT brand, which is what he should be. I view Adam Cole right now the same way I viewed Johnny Gargano 3 years ago. Here's a guy who's going to be with you for a while. He can rally your base in NXT. Hey, I don't want to go anywhere else. I am NXT. I'm the guy that you should all rally behind. You, meaning the fans. They could still do that, and who knows? Maybe if that's what he wants to do, that's the direction they can go if he resigns. I'm a little wishy-washy that they might do that. Because to me, the Undisputed Era breaking up was the perfect time to make him a babyface. I think they got the dynamic wrong with him and O'Reilly. We've talked about that before.
Well, and with everything they've flubbed is, can they even do it right or do it well?
Yeah, I mean,
interesting for that.
Yeah, I mean, NXT is not a well-booked brand. It has run into the same issues over the last 2 to 3 years that Raw and SmackDown do. Let's not sugarcoat that.
And for years, I mean, we were at the top of the mountain praising it nonstop, but it is definitely fallen off that mountaintop.
And we were the first to turn on it too, which I'm very proud of too. In 2018, we said this NXT is not as good anymore. And I'm very proud of that. I often pat myself on the back just randomly every day, just thinking about how Top Rope Nation was ahead of the curve on NXT. Okay. Other things to consider with Adam Cole in WWE. Do you remember his reaction to his buddy Tyler Breeze, who, by the way, was in the news for a stupid quote this week? Tyler Breeze was let go. And like Adam Cole, did you see video of this? He learned about it when he was doing his Twitch thing. And he was like, I mean, you could see the heartbreak in his face.
I did not see that.
I mean, this was obviously when Breeze, so it was a while ago, but, you know, I mean, with all these releases, that's something to keep in mind with everybody. You know, when the company you work for does your buddy dirty or wrong, you're going to kind of hold a grudge against them. I've worked places where, you know, I've worked with friends and friends have been let go and it like sours you on working there because it's your friend. So that's something to think about. Twitch in general, you know, he wants to do that. You know, I don't really follow that stuff. And, you know, what Twitch is all. I don't mean to sound like an 80-year-old man, but I know his Twitch is important to him and whatnot. And WWE, you know, is not so, you know, high on third-party stuff. And then sixth, there is this John Pollock quote from a few weeks ago. John Pollock, very sharp guy from Post Wrestling, on creative freedom now being an allure to leave WWE. Now, in NXT, you do have a little more creative freedom, right, than you would on the main roster, especially if you're Adam Cole. But, you know, if he's bored by any stretch of the imagination, and NXT is just not creatively fulfilling, that's another reason to leave, right?
Yep. Okay.
And then here's the most important one. And sadly, I deleted this from the notes while I was playing around with them. So let's, you know... so let's see if I can remember it. Okay. Let's say Adam Cole. We should also mention it. The obvious one. I'm sure there's people at home listening to this podcast screaming right now. Britt Baker, his girlfriend is in AEW. Yes, obviously that. I mean, they can still see each other. It's not like they're working some insane house show loop where they're prevented from ever seeing each other. But yeah, if that's important to him to work with his girlfriend, then obviously that's going to tug him to AEW. But this is really critical to think about. Let's say Adam Cole takes the situation, which he could do, and leverages a really good deal with WWE. He stays, and he gets a substantial pay increase. Okay? Could happen. If he does that, that's no guarantee for success or being around long term. What about the next time Nick Khan starts going through his spreadsheets and says, who the hell is this guy on the developmental brand making all this money? You're out of here. So, like, there's no fight. Like, yeah, he could have financial security right away, but there's no guarantee that that's going to last with Nasty Nick, you know, cutting people left and right.
Yeah, these are football contracts. These aren't baseball or basketball. These are football where they release you, your money's gone.
Yeah, exactly. I thought of that too. This is very much like an NFL situation with, guaranteed contract. My ass. AEW, if you can get Adam Cole, it's a no-brainer. It would be a crushing blow to NXT. I mean, Adam Cole leaving NXT would probably hurt NXT more than anything has hurt them ever. I think it would hurt them more than like how they've done Cross on the main roster, to be honest with you.
Why do you think? Just because he's kind of been the face of the brand?
Yeah, I mean, like, he's like, what, like, it goes back to what I said about him being a babyface. The people love Adam Cole. Like, and who are you rallying around if you don't have Adam Cole anymore? I mean, it's a dire situation over there. You got a takeover main event where you've got a guy who's 1-2 on the main roster as your champion defending against a guy who was an announcer all of last year. That's your main event on NXT TakeOver, this alleged developmental brand.
Not a guy who was... You just lost your longtime champ to the main roster, Finn Balor, who just apparently got screwed out of a world title match by a babyface John Cena.
Yes, and was threatened to be thrown back down, sent back down to NXT. Man, the pot shots. Yeah. I don't know. Yes, and we're going to talk about, you know, tribalism later in the show. I've got just what a great topic that's going to be when we get to it later, Justin. You know, and look, I'm rooting for AEW. right now. I'll tell you why later on in the show. So I'd love to see him get Adam Cole. I think he would fit in great. Obviously, he's got a relationship with the top guys there too. So, in addition to his girlfriend. So we shall see. We will learn more on SummerSlam weekend. There's no point on speculating more now.